Hey YouTube, Rando here. Today I wanted to talk about a fire starting capability, well just one of them really. I want to go over matches. When you're picking matches for your bag, or when I'm picking matches for my bag, the first thing I look at is price and quantity. Then I go into quality a little bit, because matches are kind of a backup for me. My primary source is always going to be a Bic lighter. So matches are just a backup, just like a flint. You know, it's a backup, nothing more. Preferably I can get it started with the lighter. If I can't, then I can fall back on the matches, or if my lighter runs out. But I always carry a Zippo in my pocket and a Bic lighter in my pack, so presumably if I'm just out for the weekend, I'm not going to run out and I won't even have to use the matches. But I wanted to go over a couple different kinds that I do use. This first one is just your cheap, run-of-the-mill wood match, kind of like they give out at bars or whatever. These actually come from a tobacco company that I deal with. And we're going to compare some of these matches, so we're going to be lighting them off here in a minute and just kind of do some comparisons of them. Now, the next match I'm going to show you, I've done a review on this match before, and I love these matches. And it is the Diamond Greenlight matches. And I don't necessarily just like them just because of the fact that you know, they're eco-friendly, or more eco-friendly than most matches. I don't think any match is eco-friendly. You're cutting down trees to start fires, so not necessarily eco-friendly, but they use them from what's it called? Sourced from responsible forests, forests that are grown just for the matches, and then for every tree they cut down, they plant 2 more, or something like that, something along those lines. So I really like these matches, and this is what we're going to compare the regular match to. Even Diamond sells these little thin, cheaper matches in the small box. But these are going to be your more, these are going to be your cheaper matches, and you get more for your money. Not just that, but you can buy the regular red ones. They're a little bit shorter. These have a 30% more burn time than those. But you can pick those up for the 300 boxes. You can pick up a double box for $1. So you get 600 matches for $1. So we'll be comparing these two right here. Alright, so let's jump into the next one, and that's going to be these right here. And these are just cheap waterproof matches. You can see it's about the same size as the cheaper run-of-the-mill match. It's no thicker. And by the way, the green one is much thicker than either one of them. Probably 1.5 of each of these. So I guess that's where they come up with the more burn time on them. I do like these matches. They come in this little case like this. It's supposed to be a waterproof case. It's more like a water-resistant case, because water can get in there, but it more than likely won't. And if you ever run out of matches, comes with a little flint on the. So if you ever run out of matches, you have a backup right there on the case. And the whole match is not covered in wax. It's not waterproof all the way down. It's just the sulfur that's covered in wax, and you don't have to peel that wax off to light it, and we'll show you that here in just 1 minute. And this is essentially the same thing. We'll show them side by side. It's just the more expensive one, and that's your Coleman waterproof matches. And if you look at these matches side by side, the Coleman match is much thicker, and also a little bit more expensive. So I think you could buy these in the 4-pack, which it comes with 4 boxes of matches. I'm not sure how many matches are in each one, probably about 30, something like that, maybe 40. I think it is a 40 pack now that I think about it. But they're going to run you $5-6, maybe $5, maybe $4. You might get them for $4, but they're not as cheap as these by any means. These run about 75 cents to $1 if you're just replacing the matches, and maybe $1 to $1.25 if you're buying the whole setup. And you can just buy the loose matches and just reuse your case if you want. Set those over a little bit. Now the next kind of match I'm going to show you, this is my favorite kind of match. This is the match I prep with the most. I find them, they come in handy, and that is a windproof match. And this is the cheap version. Again, if you buy, like UCO makes them where they're called lifeboat matches or something is what people call them, but it's a stormproof match is what they call it. And it's much thicker. There's a little bit more sulfur, not too much more, and they're a lot longer, and they come with a big black tip on it to help them ignite. And I don't find any of that necessary either. I like these because they are windproof. You can be out and it can be windy as hell, and you light it and it's gonna light that, and at least all of this sulfur is gonna burn before it goes out. It may not ignite the wood, but it will ignite all this sulfur. So as long as you have some really dry tinder or some magnesium or some paper or something like that, you can really get your fire going really easy with those. Especially when we do a bonfire, we usually throw a little bit of fuel on the fire, you know, before we ever start it. Get the wood nice and soaked in some, you know, 70% alcohol, or hell, even some gasoline out the chainsaw or something, some 2-stroke gasoline or something like that. We'll coat the wood in it a little bit and then just throw one of the matches on it and it'll ignite it. Now we're going to show you just a little bit of the difference in these matches. And I'm going to attempt to light them at the same time. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Trying to kind of do the same thing with them just to show you. Look how much more flame you're getting out of this one than you are this one. Quite a bit more flame, and this one would go out a lot easier than this one. So that's the difference when you're buying just regular wooden matches. You want to buy a good match. These are advertised to burn 30% longer, but you can see, and I was trying to hold them at the same angle at the same times and everything. I'm sure I did something wrong, but somebody will point it out to me. But you can see there's a little bit more wood on this one that hasn't been burnt than this one. But this one put off a lot stronger flame, and if you just held it up, it probably would burn a lot longer than this one. So now we'll do the waterproof matches. And we'll do the cheap one, which is this one, and then the Coleman, which is this one. I don't know, that cheap one's going pretty good, isn't it? Hell, it's burned out, but it looked like the Coleman was actually fixing to go out. So the cheap one burned better. This one burned longer, but it didn't burn all the way down, and it went out. So I'll let you be the decider of that one. Now, I don't have nothing to compare this one to because I don't have any of the UCO. I don't buy them. They're very expensive. It's for one pack of matches is more than I would pay for probably 3 or 4 packs of these. With the little case, and there's no flint or anything on this one, but it's still a pretty cool match, and I'm going to show you why. And it may get kind of loud because I'm going to blow on it as it's lighting and kind of show you what it's for. Well, that striker sucks. So you could see I was blowing on it. You know, I wasn't blowing on it too hard the whole time, but it kept reigniting. As long as that sulfur stays burning, and you don't get a long burn time with these. But if you have good tinder set up, or you have fuel or something like that you're burning, you really don't have to worry about it. These storm-proof matches, or wind-proof matches rather, are really nice. I like them. I do buy these as well. I just buy the refills and refill this, or I buy the Coleman and refill it. You can buy the loose matches. You don't have to buy the little case, and they're on eBay. I want to say these are, we'll say about $1.50 a pack. These are about $1 a pack, and these are about $1.25. This probably being your more expensive ones, but because there's only 24 in this pack, I think there's, I'm not going to quote it, but probably right around 30, and then there's 40 in this. But you can always, if you're going to do these, you can always, when you run out, just take one of these, dip it in wax, and you have a better match in there, and you can see the case is big enough to hold them. These matches probably only go to here, and then they leave the top of this, so you can put tinder in there, and that's what I have in there, just a little bit of tinder on top of the matches. So keep that in mind. You can always just buy these cheap diamond matches, stick the tip of them, and I would do them down to about right here myself, but you could just do the tip of them and stick them down in the candle, get wax covered on them, and you have good waterproof matches, homemade waterproof matches. So there you have it. There's the test. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thanks for watching, YouTube.